You stated your father was detained in Ikoyi prisons.
Very true, sir.
You equally stated that your father died at the general hospital.
That's very true, too.
In your petition, there is nowhere in your petition, may I be correct to say, that the SSS that was not in existence when your father was detained had nothing to do with the detention, arrest of your father?
Well, I'll put it to you too, sir, that you as a counsel to the NSO or SSS or whatever the state security
just answer my question.
No, I don't need to answer such a question because it doesn't make much sense to me.
You are to answer the question. You have to answer the question.
Well, I don't know what operative was operating then because you have different names for your operatives. As far as I'm concerned, they took my father to the Inspector General's office and I was there until I was sent away. So, whoever the operative was, that is your problem. You took my father away and you incarcerated him and he died in your hands. That is what matters to me. I want an explanation to it.
In this episode, Francis and George Sheen, two Nigerian brothers resident in South Africa, petitioned the State Security Services, SSS, which is now called the DSS, for the abduction and disappearance of their father many years ago. This is a rather sad and emotional case because even though the brothers know that their father is no longer alive, they have come to seek justice and perhaps get some closure from the SSS after so many years. We will appreciate a like, a comment, and don't forget to share, and we'll see you in the next video.
Honorable members of the Commission, G. Igbinovia for the State Security Service. Appearing with me is Salisu Kambo.
Any other appearances? I had a note here on my file, adjourned to next Abuja session for counsel for the Commission to obtain documents mentioned in the petition. Have you obtained them?
Your Lordship, we have a letter from the SSS, which with Your Lordship's kind permission, I would like to read out.
Yes, what does the letter say?
My Lord, we applied to put it in evidence before we
What
read
does the letter say?
My Lord, the letter says, Sir, read Judge Oputashin. Refer to your letter number HRVSA of 21st of June 2001. We write to inform you that this office has no file on the above named subject matter. Best regards to you and the honorable members of your commission, please. It's signed by F. Akinsomi for Director General of the SSS.
Where do we go from there? My file talks about top secret documents.
Yes.
They said I haven't got it. What do we do?
Well, my Lord, it's a difficult situation because at the time this event occurred, the father of the petitioner just disappeared from custody. And being very young then, he wasn't even very sure in whose custody he was. My Lord, the then NSO, it was during the government of General Gowon, I think, and the NSO was, I believe, in existence then, but well, it was not. I'm sorry, my Lord, I've been corrected. It was not in existence. Well, my Lord, maybe we'll extend inquiries to the police. The NSO was not in existence then. Sorry, sir. The letter is dated the 2nd of July 2001.
You mean SSS wrote the letter yesterday?
Sorry, sir.
You mean the letter was written yesterday?
Well, my Lord, that's the date on the letter. I can't say for sure when it was written, sir. Well, yesterday was the 2nd of July, so I suppose perhaps that's the...
No, because I mean, anybody could have written this kind of letter in my car. It doesn't show enough seriousness on a matter that is as serious as this. I don't think we would have liked to see a situation in which the SSS that is mentioned in this matter, even if it was not in existence, at least we would have liked to see a situation in which it is shown that the SSS took the necessary steps to go right up to a particular point, rather than giving us a two-line letter. It doesn't. First of all, it doesn't show enough seriousness on a matter that is as grave as this one. I still believe that, given the time that has passed between Lagos and now, there would have been enough time to make all the necessary inquiries from the various government agencies. We need to at least demonstrate that we've done everything that is humanly possible. But I consider this letter not only, with due respect to the SSS, this letter does not show enough respect to this commission.
The SSS, one moment. My Lord, the SSS is represented. My Lord, we agree with your submission, because the SSS is a security organization, and we know when they want to get facts, they actually go out of their way to get information. So we agree with you that they could have done better than this. Even if they don't have any information or file on the petitioner's deceased father, my Lord, we believe they can assist the commission by perhaps initiating the necessary action to see that the mystery behind this disappearance is unraveled. But anyhow, my Lord, the SSS is represented here.
The Honorable Commission, my Lord, and the honorable members, we have always helped this commission. We have always been, anytime we are supposed to appear before this commission, we've always appeared. The letter written by my client was a reply to a letter signed by the chairman of this commission. That letter was received by my client this week. And the reply we sent to this commission was a response to that letter. With profound respect, I want to disagree, with due respect to the honorable member. We have always had this commission. We've always respected the members. The commission is made up of respectable Nigerians. And if we...
Suppose you cut it short. Look at have you got a petition there?
We've got a petition.
The petition?
Yes.
All right. Page 2. Last paragraph but one. In 1984,
yes,
after the collapse of the democratic government of Alhaji Shehu Shagari, I was opportune to find out that a file on my father is being kept at the then NSO headquarters of Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, classified as top secret and confidential. That's what he wants you to look at and tell him what happened to his father. Finish.
With due respect to the commission.
If you got the letter last week, hold it. If you got the letter last week and you can't make the search, you can tell us you haven't been able to go to your office there. Instead of writing that you have no file.
The question of not conducting a search do not arise in this matter. We have conducted our investigation, and with permission of this commission, I want to take up the petitioner on that very issue, that he saw the file in our office.
You conducted the investigation. What was the result of your conducting of your investigation?
That we don't have a file on the disease.
Where?
The letter was just
He mentioned a special office. Have we gone to that office?
yes, it is that office that has written the letter that was read by the counsel to the council, to the commission. Yes.
Department of State Services, National Headquarters, Abuja, not Lagos. He never told you this thing was in Abuja. He said it's in Lagos. And you received a letter about 3 or 4 days ago, and you wrote yesterday.
We profirm respect, my lord. The national headquarters of the State Security Service was in Lagos. The headquarters was moved to Abuja like any other federal establishment.
Yes, what do we do to wasting time? Where is Ribadu? Whenever they want to do something, if they want it, the files will appear. If they don't want, the files will disappear. Because when we were in Enugu, they produced files about 7 years, 10 years. Well, they said they haven't got the files.
Well, Your Honor, if I might comment, then I will ask that we
So give
subpoena
him the
General
microphone, please.
Which one do I use? This? Yeah. Your Honor, I stand very firm on the issue that all efforts to get to meet any person or talk to any person about the whereabouts of my father from 1968 till today is hindered. To make life very easy, I'll suggest that I appeal to the court, let us subpoena General Yakubu Gawan to come to the court.
When did your father disappear?
Well, from Mrs. Wandu's statement, we correlate to say that on October 27th, 1968,
Well,
he disappeared.
in law, after 7 years, the man is presumed dead.
Okay.
So if we presume that your father is no longer alive, we face the other facet of your claim, the compensation. I don't think anybody can give you satisfactory evidence of where he is. So we have to deal with the presumption after 7 years.
My Lord, is a two-pronged approach. The issue, the stance of death after 7 years, but the occurrences prior becomes a problem for me. I have a document here that states that invalid by the Nigerian Railway Corporation, where she had worked for over 30 years. But my younger brother and my 2 sisters, at the age of 16, not able to understand, by a friend of my father, the then governor, to me, young boy, there's nothing I'm saying, sir. If we're to get to where happened to Mr. Sheen, he's alive, sir.
Is he alive?
He's alive and strong.
Your father?
Yakubu.
Well, my lord, in view of with due respect to the application of his father's office, I'm sorry, my lord. My lord, I was saying that, my lord, as applicant having disappeared during his tenure of office, my lord, the police, because disappearance, because the SSS, I mean, we
From 1968.
my lord, the petitioner made reference to the Nigerian police.
This is Nigeria. The files we can't find. What are you investigating? Keeping it on our list ad infinitum to investigate what? The disappearance of his father in 1968. Even if you call General Yakubu Gawan, what will he say? I was the head of state then. That's all.
Well, my lord, the police
I
has
thought
ways.
the petitioner will now confine his claim to the compensation.
But he's
he
not,
wants
my
to
lord.
go
He says
on-
his main interest is knowing what happened to his father. And my lord, he's entitled to know that over and above
Who will tell
compensation.
him that? You or me or who?
My lord, that's why
Who
we're
will talk
making
to the
this
air?
humble application, because
Who
we
will tell him
seem
that,
to have hit a
Yakubu
dead
Gawan?
end with the SSS.
Yakubu Gawan?
Not Yakubu
Who? Now
Gawan.
tell me who I summon him.
Well, the security agencies, they have ways of gathering
You have no
information.
name.
My lord,
Security agencies.
my lord, I
All
said,
right, summon security agencies.
my lord, we had already written the SSS. We have hit a dead end with the SSS. That's why we humbly
This case was
apply.
called up in Lagos on the 29th of November. From November to July, you haven't done anything. And you want a further adjournment to summon security
The
agencies.
SSS was physically represented in
All right,
Lagos,
tell
my
me
lord.
when you want adjourned.
My learned colleague Ibinovia was present in Lagos.
When do you want it adjourned? Next
My lord.
week? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
My lord, we are not really asking for
I
an
think as far as I'm concerned, exercise in futility. How can you, after so many years in Nigeria, be able to answer these questions?
Right, Mr. Sheen, maybe you can give us a clue as to what you think General Gawan would come and say. I mean, was he physically, does he have personal knowledge of the circumstances of the disappearance of your father, other than the fact that he was head of state at the time?
Other than the fact that he was head of state, I do believe very strongly that it was a common thing in the Lagos area that any Igbo-speaking person or that anybody who had association with Igbo-speaking people during the Nigeria-Biafra conflict that could not pronounce Obalinde or as pertinent was cast in detention. But my situation is pertinent in that I am aware that there is a relationship between the disappearance of my father and the then government of the Supreme Military Council.
Okay.
Sir, could you shed more light on what you've just said?
Well, all I am saying is I do not have anything to show the relationship, but I do know that my father was picked up by the security agencies in the 20s and 30s of them, taken to Ikoyi prison, and was locked up till October 27th, 1968, when I did not see him anymore. All I have of him is this little picture. It's a passport photograph. That's all I have. But we know that the SSS do have a document that I saw, that my younger brother George saw, written top secret on it, labeled George Jimmy Oputa Sheen. I want to see
Where
that.
did you see this where exactly did you see these documents?
At the SS office behind St. Gregory's College.
Well, who, you said, Ibinovia, when did the SSS come into existence? Because I think we can, let me just, I mean, if you know, just before the SSS came into existence, who was doing the work of the SSS?
The NSO.
So
NSO.
there was an NSO in 1968.
No, 1976.
Before
came into being.
Before then, what did we have?
Nigerian police.
Okay. So
The
because
department was
I think
part and parcel of Nigerian police.
Because I think, my lord, the issues here, if you remember what Mr. Sheen said in his petition, the cloud of uncertainty, there is a cloud of uncertainty as to whether his father was a security risk of some sort. And I think it's implicit in the petition. And I think that the responsibility of our commission is to follow this whole thing. It might just be the case, for the sake of argument, that indeed his father was a security risk. And if that is the case, I think he's entitled to know. So it is not so much a question of him wanting to know whether his father is dead or alive. As he said, I think that is one dimension. The second dimension is what kind of person was his father? And I think it's important, and I think it's a question that can be answered in the sense that definitely, perhaps we can, since the SSS has demonstrated very clearly that it is ready to cooperate with us halfway. I mean, in fact, not even up to halfway, because we know you can do better than this. But it is clear from this document that you have no wish to collaborate fully with us on this matter. I think it should be possible, my Lord, for us to maybe go back to, perhaps even if you don't summon the one directly, I think it should be possible to identify the relevant government agency at that time, and let us find out what exactly the situation is, because the file may have been destroyed. But what I would have liked to hear from SSS is that at least you did everything possible and you hit a brick wall, but there's nothing in this letter to show that you did everything that was possible.
The Honorable Commissioner, by the tone of the letter from the SSS, it was very clear that we did...
Before you go on, I've reminded counsel times without number that this is not an adversary proceeding. It's not A against B. No. We are all heading towards the same goal, to discover the facts. Counsel, if you can help us to discover the facts, we'll be most grateful. Now he wants to know, what did NSO think of his father? If you can supply that information, we'll be very, very grateful. That will cool him down.
My Lord, we
the
don't have
circumstances
that
leading to
information.
his disappearance, maybe, I don't know whether he's alive or dead.
We don't have that information. I want to be able to clear set it out in his mind. My Lord, I don't know if we'll be permitted to ask a few questions. Few questions on Exhibit 1. We wanted to do this in Lagos, we were not allowed.
You didn't cross-examine him?
We were not allowed.
All right, cross-examine him now. Let's see whether that will end the matter.
Whether that we will assist this commission in reaching a decision in the matter.
This is not the man that testified.
I see. Let's see. Is your
No, Judge, but he's here. He's here.
Who testified in Lagos?
My
your brother?
is
He's here too.
He's here too, yes.
Yes.
From South Africa?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You also came from South Africa?
No, I am in...
You live here?
He is.
Well,
Yes.
let him come if you want to cross-examine him. Well, come along. Sheen? Maybe you look like a mother. The Sheen I know was fair, like you, not like you. I see. Yes? He wants to ask you one or two questions. We've tried to see if we can get the files you referred to in your petition. But he tells us the NSO, the security services, haven't got any files. It's 1968. And he can't produce any of the files. So he wants to ask you one or two questions.
My Lord, before he asks any questions, may I ask the counsel from the...
Talk to the microphone, you are being recorded.
May I ask the counsel from the SSS if they actually went further to find out, based on my report here, from the Ikoyi prisons and the General Hospital, about the files of my father?
Do you think you can help them? If you can, because as I say, it's not an adversary proceeding. If you can give any relevant information to enable you locate the files.
My Lord, I doubt very much if I will have access to those files, and I believe if that is the state security organization, they would have urgent and immediate access to such files. And it will be easier for them to get hold of these files than a civilian like myself.
Can I react to that, my Lord?
You still think we are having an adversary thing? We're all trying to find out one thing.
That is not the issue.
All right, react, let's see. React.
He stated the father was detained in the prison, Ikoyi prison. In the 60s. we have a body that is responsible for that in this country, the Nigerian prisons. You stated your father in your petition died in the general hospital. The general hospital is still there. Having said that, I want to ask a few questions. You said in 1984 you visited the SSS headquarters at Awolowo Road.
That's very true, yes.
You equally said you saw the file of your father in the SSS office.
That's also very true, sir.
Are you aware that when you arrived the country on the 27th, that is August 1984, you feel the constant currency yellow card?
Well, it's possible, yes, because I lived outside the country, and if I come into the country, I must fill a custom yellow card.
How much was filled on that card?
Well, if I do remember very well, I think, but before we even get to that, sir, I think we should go back to the circumstances that warranted me going to the NSO headquarters in 1984, because that is the question you're supposed to be asking me.
Answer my question.
Well, I think I came in with about $20,000.
And you are equally aware that at the airport, when you were about leaving the country, you had problem with the constant service.
I think we should go back again to 1984, why I had problems with the customs in the dates you are mentioning today. So you should first ask me what happened in 1984.
Will I be correct to say the file you saw
Yes.
in the SSS office
Yes.
was your file and not that of your father?
Was what?
Your file and
No.
not that of your father.
In 1984, I saw my father's file. I was picked up by the SSS at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport and taken straight to your headquarters in Awolowo Road. And I was alleged to have had involvement with the government of Rivers State, where I was Assistant General Manager of the Presidential Hotel, Port Harcourt. So we should go back first to 1984 before the problems of your men stealing my money at the airport.
What? Your initials, can you tell this commission your initials?
My name is George Joseph Afamefuna Sheen, G-J-A Sheen.
What is the initial of your late father?
I'm sure you can read that yourself.
Is G-J Sheen.
No, G-J-O Sheen.
I put it to you that the file you saw in the SSS office that very day was the file dealing with your matter. And not of, not
Can you please state to me
file.
then, sir, what my matter was?
Just answer my question.
No, you state it to me.
Answer my question.
No.
Answer
Tell
my
me what
question.
my matter was, because there
Answer
was
my
no matter
question.
at all.
Your issue is not before this commission.
Beautiful. So
You
please,
said you
let's
had
go
a
back to
problem.
the issue about my father.
You said you had a problem while working with the River State.
I did not say I had a problem. Your men alleged I had a problem in 1984, and that was why they invited me to your office in Awolowo Road. And there was no problem at all, because within 2 weeks, I was given my passport back, and I had to travel out. So I didn't have a problem Your men had a problem when I said to the officer who was interrogating me that I was going to strangle him to death if he did not remove my father's file from my very front, because that man has problem with you and I don't have a problem with you.
The file that you say you saw,
Yes.
was it open before you?
It was not open because I refused to even look at it.
How were you able to identify that the file belonged to your father?
Well, thank God I still did O-levels in Nigeria, so I could read English, and I saw the initials.
You saw the name of your father on the file.
Yes, sir, I saw the name of my father, George Jimmy Oputa Sheen, date 27/11/68, deceased, top secret, red file.
In your petition, you said your father was detained in 1967.
Very true, sir. In fact, he was already picked up earlier than 1967 and released after 2 weeks, and then picked up again in 1967.
Are you aware that the SSS was not in existence then?
I don't know. I was 14 years old. I know that they were security operatives because I went with them to the police headquarters at Obalende.
If you said you were 14 years old in your exhibit 1, in which case you were not sure for certain who arrested your father.
But I told you just now, sir, I went with them to the police headquarters. I was turned back on the 3rd or 4th floor at the Inspector General's floor as we came out of the lift.
In 1984, you allege you came into the country with $22,000.
20,000, sir.
You said 22,000. I
said,
will give you the.
I said $20,000.
$20,000.
Yes, sir.
When you were leaving,
yes,
how much did you leave the country with?
I really cannot even remember how much, but I knew over $2,000 was stolen by your operatives as they switched off the light where they were counting the money at the Murtala International Airport.
I put it to you that because you made a vague allegation against a custom officer, the custom officer who was conducting your search was searched then and then in your presence.
Excuse me, sir. I don't know if you were at the airport, but I'm saying to you, in the room where my money was being counted, more than 20 officers walked in and out of that room, and the light was switched off. And we could only determine the fact that that was intentional because the light was not switched off in the airport.
Do you remember that on that day, you apologized to the custom officer?
If I do remember very well, sir, my good brother was with me, and he pleaded on behalf of the 2 custom officers that I do not prosecute them.
If you look at exhibit 1, you stated your father was detained in Ikoyi prisons.
Very true, sir.
You equally stated that your father died at the general hospital.
That's very true too.
In your petition, there is nowhere in your petition, may I be correct to say, that the SSS that was not in existence when your father was detained had nothing to do with the detention, arrest of your father?
Well, I'll put it to you too, sir, that you as a counsel to the NSO or SSS or whatever the state security
just answer my question.
No, I don't need to answer such a question because it doesn't make much sense to me.
You are to answer the question. You are to answer the question.
Well, I don't know what operative was operating then because you have different names for your operatives. As far as I'm concerned, they took my father to the Inspector General's office and I was there until I was sent away. So, whoever the operative was, that is your problem. You took my father away and you incarcerated him and he died in your hands. That is what matters to me. I want an explanation to it.
Your Lordship, this the scenario now, my Lord, brings us back to what we had said earlier, my Lord, that the SSS is in a position to assist the Commission and assist the petitioner if they so wish, because apparently the SSS have devoted a lot of energy to investigating the petitioner. My Lord, we are reliably informed that even though the SSS or the NSO was not in existence at the time of this incident, my Lord, the CID, which was an arm of the police force, was in existence. And from what the petitioner has told this Honorable Commission on oath, apparently, when the NSO was created, the file on his deceased father was passed over to the NSO. Well, we are still appealing to the SSS to do all they can, because from all the material which has been unearthed by counsel to the SSS, we still believe they're in a very good position to assist the Commission and assist the petitioner to know what happened to his late father. My Lord, that's our position.
Yes. What are you asking us to do?
My Lord, to direct the SSS to conduct further inquiry
The
into...
director?
My Lord, yeah, the director of the DG of the SSS. And also that the police force be brought into this, because from all indications, my Lord, at the time of this incident, before ever the file on his father got to the NSO, there was in existence an arm of the police, presumably known as the CID or X squad, my Lord, I'm not sure which. Maybe the police would tell us. My Lord, that there be a full-blown investigation into this matter, because...
well, you see, I feel a bit upset that the bar is not behaving as it should. You as counsel for SSS, or whatever you call them, as I said, it's not adversary. Nobody's blaming anybody yet. Nobody is going to send anybody to prison. We're going to find out facts, and anybody who is a lawyer is to help us find those facts. If we've done everything possible and we cannot, then that's what we can do about it. But we are now cross-examining to show this, to show that, not to find the facts. What he's saying that he saw his father's file. That may be true, that may be untrue. Let's investigate that. So I think we better ask the director to see us. Then, this chairman, the director general, I won't ask you to say anything, so please. I don't want to. We will, please, write a letter to the Director General. We have a word with him and see if we can make any headway. The lawyers come here thinking they're in the High Court or in the Magistrate Court. No, this is not a court. We just want to find out facts.
My Lord, with due respect to the Commission, the letter from my client, the State Security Service.
Are you Director General?
The letter...
The conversation will shift to the Director General.
Then
he will give you directives.
That letter was
Please, with this case will be, give me a date. You write the Director General today.
That letter we tendered was from the Director
Will you
General.
sit down when the court is talking? Please. will you sit down? You see, this thing is watched all over the place. They watch it in England, in America, they see you. The bench is talking, you are sitting down talking. How can two of us be talking? And we said we are going to invite the Director General. Are you one? You are not. Wait until we have seen him. Then he may give you instructions. So write him today to see us in chambers. We discuss this matter with him. See whether we can make some headway. Today, I would like to sign the letter today. Not tomorrow, today. All right. When we adjourn, do they need to come? Every day, all the way from, where are you, in Lagos or Port Harcourt?
Well, I'm in Abuja now, sir.
I see.
I'll be here for a while.
Well, give us a date if they can come. If they cannot come, we'll appreciate.
My Lord, the letter will be ready for your signature today.
Give them at least 1 week.
A date next week, my Lord. Perhaps
1 week.
A week today, my Lord, will
today.
be adequate. We are most obliged, my Lord.
I'll give it to you.
Counsel, in your letter, give him all the necessary documents that will enable him know what you're talking about. The petition, everything you have that will be of help, our letter to them and their letter to us. And then we meet them. You have to specify the time. 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in chambers. 10. 9:30 in chambers, and that date, Friday. What date is Friday? 10th? This coming Friday? No.
My Lord, the DJ will see your Lordship in chambers on Friday, but the matter is adjourned to Tuesday next week. That's the 10th.
On this Friday?
My Lord, the DG will see your Lordship in chambers on Friday this week. That's the 6th. My Lord, we apply to adjourn the matter to Wednesday, the 11th.
So, matter adjourned to 10th.
Wednesday, my Lord. Tuesday is very heavy, my Lord. We have too many matters for Tuesday.
Why not push it down further? What's the hurry? If we see the DG on the 6th, and yes, you need more time.
My Lord, subject to your Lordship's convenience, the 16th is freer.
16th.
Yes, my Lord.
Well, the case is adjourned to the 16th. Then on that day, we see what has happened and what we can do. You like to appear? All right. If you want to appear, it's all right. 16th.
We are most obliged, sir.
What about 1364? The cousin to the other one.